Vande Gujarat.
Hello everyone, welcome you all in next episode of your Linguaskill English business. So I welcome all of you, and I'm sure from the previous episodes you have learned so many things. You have really would have inculcated them in your teaching, and you would have got so many things from it. You must have already started implementing those strategies, and you must be working on this, right? So in today's lesson we are going to explore that how any language is going to be used in its real sense. If anything is meaningful to you, it really becomes easy to understand. It really becomes easy to interpret. It becomes very easy to paraphrase. So with this point, I would like to start my today's session. So let us begin and listen this wonderful episode where we'll be going deep inside listening. So let us begin. So there's a Turkish proverb. If speaking is silver, then listening is golden. Yes, dear candidates, there has always been, given priority to our listening skills. There's always, we have given so much priority. Everyone wants that an individual should become a very good speaker. He should speak up. He should talk about a number of things, whatever. But no doubt speaking is important. But since time immemorial, listening has given a very deep importance. So listening is really paving the way to become a good speaker. So candidates, we must understand that listening has got its dimensions. Listening is the root. Listening is the root for any successful communication. There is something which I would like to talk and which is very good to listen. It's written when you talk, you are only repeating what you already know. When you talk, you are only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new. So, if you're talking, suppose if I'm speaking, I'm already repeating whatever is in my mind. I'm already sharing those information which I've already got from somewhere. But the moment I start listening, every moment if I'm listening to someone, I'm listening from their perspective. I'm just understanding that what is the concept. I'm learning, I'm exploring something new. And that is where the knowledge of listening begins. Listening is something which is the foundation. It is the building blocks of your language. Have you ever thought how mind picks up a language? Yes, a mind picks up a language by listening. And if you are working on your language, then you have to listen first. Listening is there in all the aspects. I think whatever knowledge, whatever information, if you have acquired so far, I'm sure there is a contribution of listening to it. You have understood your lectures, you have completed your schooling, intermediate, graduation, whatever studies you have completed. Don't you think listening played a very important role in it? So that's why this Turkish proverb makes us quite clear that there is a great significance of listening. And not only in your examination but in your real life situations also, when you are listening, you are developing good relation with your colleagues. You are developing good rapport with your colleagues. You are understanding them. There is a bond which is being developed with them. So that's why I always say, friends, time has come when we have to focus on our this aspect where we can understand that how it is helpful in all the different situations. So let us begin again with more aspects and let's explore this wonderful world of English. There is a question in my mind. If anything is done and if it is done with perfection, then that thing becomes exceptional. So now the question is, who is an exceptional listener? Who is an exceptional listener? Do you want to become an exceptional listener? Do you know anyone who is an exceptional listener? Dear candidates, if you want to get success rate, if you want to achieve your success in your Linguaskill business listening test, then you have to become an exceptional listener. Now let's see what are the qualities of an exceptional listener. So, an exceptional listener is one who is curious to learn. That means one who is thirsty for information, who is thirsty for knowledge, and who is curious to learn. That person is an exceptional listener. So, are you an exceptional listener? Do you have thirst for knowledge? Do you have thirst for information? Do you have thirst to expand your vocabulary? Do you have thirst to expand your antonyms? Do you have thirst to work on your prefixes, suffixes, synonyms? Do you want to understand? Then if you are curious to know all this thing, then you become an exceptional listener. The point is there that anyone who wants to be an exceptional listener, he has to dwell deep into the language. Next, other quality of an exceptional listener, one who is sincere and open-minded. I truly believe that any person who is sincere towards his commitment, who is sincere towards his priorities, and his mind is not closed, his mind is open-minded, then he can become an exceptional listener. Yes, dear friends, if you want to have these qualities inside you, if you're having these qualities inside you, then you are becoming an exceptional listener. When you listen, your words enters your subconscious mind. When you play with the words, that words set into your permanent memory. The information, whatever you are dealing, it comes into your permanent memory, and that is where listening takes place. Who is an exceptional listener? One who prevents distractions. You are listening to me at this moment. Maybe there is a distraction around you. Maybe some children are playing around you. Maybe you are in such a place where there is a lot of chaos all around you. People are talking behind you. Would you be able to focus on by listening? No, you won't be able to listen me because you are unable to prevent those distractions. They are bound to be with you. So whenever you are going for a listening activity, listening thing, you have to choose a quiet place at your home, at your residence, and then you have to go for listening. Try to prevent all the possible distractions. There should not be even a single sound. There should be a pin drop silence when you are listening. Make this happen. See the transformation in soul. Listening means you are in the form of meditation. You are meditating with your words, with your thoughts. You are listening all the time. So listening is something where you are completely surrendering yourself to the words, to the thoughts. No any single thought should come inside your mind when you are listening. And that becomes the magic. That becomes the magic. You're so much keen towards listening that when you're listening, you feel, oh, I'm so much deeply involved in this. Yes, dear friends, listening has to be done in that way. Listening is a meditation. In my words, I will give this. This is a supreme quality which an individual can possess inside himself, and then he can understand that how this has brought a drastic change. This can bring a drastic change in your personality. Listening opens the door of possibilities. You're listening, you're loaded with your information. So, meaningful listening has to do so many things in your personality, in your overall development. So let's explore this more. Next is one who has the patience and intention of understanding. Yes, if you want to become an exceptional listener, it is very much important for you to have patience. You should be loaded with patience. People give up. They quit. They are not understanding any word, any phrase. They quit. Oh, I can't. I'm not understanding. They surrender. They quit. I feel no. This is the point where you're making a big mistake for you. You have to be patient. You have to surrender yourself when you are listening to some of any of the text. So that brings and explores you. If you commit, if you are, no doubt you may be committing mistakes in listening. Committing mistakes in listening means you're not understanding a proper word. You may be not understanding a proper phrasal verb. Then can't you work on that? So, I hope after listening to this, you all are going to become an exceptional listener. Aren't you? Yes, I'm sure if you have a firm determination inside you, and if you are determined that I have to improve my listening skills, I will work on my communication, then definitely you are going to touch. And you are going to become an exceptional listener. So let's explore this topic in more detail. So, develop the intention of understanding. If you are listening something for the purpose of understanding, then that is the place where your understanding is going to improve. In Linguaskill business listening skills, there are mentioned so many advantages of listening. Here, when an audio has been placed, what they are trying to do, they are trying to just check that are you able to identify the main idea. Any text which is there, it has got a main idea. So are you able to practice that? Are you able to get the command of that? So by practicing this kind of session, you are going to strengthen the skill by listening. Any audio which has been played for you, it has got kind of general understanding. And if you are willing to be a very good listener, then the main point is that you have to get the knowledge of the main idea. Sometimes we are listening. Listening should not be done for the sake of listening. Listening should be done for identifying your opinions. Do you identify the opinions? Do you identify the feelings of the person? Because when you're listening, you have to listen for the feelings of that person. And you have to practice the skills that when you are listening, you should not listen for the sake of listening. You have to listen for emotions, you have to listen for feelings, you have to listen for every memory, every sort of, even a minute expressions of feeling is there, even pauses are there, then you have to listen for that. You have to listen for paraphrases. Paraphrases. People say so many things, but they are rewording it. And as I told you in the earlier session, that paraphrasing technique. So you have to, if you will listen, you are going to work on your paraphrasing technique. You are going to strengthen this skill. And once you strengthen this skill, you will give your best. You are also listening for making predictions. Sometimes that happens. When we are listening to a story, we guess, okay, after this may happen. After this, the story may take this turn. Similarly, when you are listening to something, there may be a kind of prediction you are making inside your mind. So that could be the possible, uses of listening. So listening has to be done in that way. Listening has got so many advantages, and as an individual, as a learner, right, we have to focus on these advantages. So if you are becoming an exceptional listener, then you have to understand for the main idea, you have to understand for the opinion and feeling, you have to understand for paraphrasing, you have to understand for making prediction. If you are going to do all this thing together, then a time will come, you will see that gradually your listening level is increasing. You're getting better score at every moment. So try to work on these kind of skills and try to focus that if you are working on this skill. You don't have to become only a listener, but I presume that you have to become a skilled listener. Listener, listener, not only a simple listener, an exceptional listener, a skilled listener from whom nothing can skip. Every piece of information he is ready to grasp inside him. He can catch on with the words, he can catch on with the vocabulary, he can catch on with the phrasal verbs, antonyms, he can catch up with synonyms, he can catch on with collocations, he can catch on with all the expressions. And that leads to a complete picture of listening. So, are you ready to work on your listening skills? Are you ready to become an exceptional listener? Then let's explore all the sections in detail. I have here taken a sample exercise where I am reading as it in a scripted form and you have to listen. Okay, I will be reading it out and you will be listening. Here, see. Good afternoon, Mr. Jack. Good afternoon, Mr. John. Have you spoken about the grant from the committee? No, not yet. I went there to meet the committee members, but unfortunately no one was there. All right. Did you meet anyone else there? Yes, I met one of the subordinates there. Who was he? Well, he was Mr. William. He is a recently hired candidate from the Human Resource Department. Mac, did you speak something to him? Yes, I explained, John is telling. I explained everything to him. Yes, I explained everything to him and he told me to submit all the documents along with the processing fees. Mac, John, you need to visit him tomorrow along with all the documents. Make sure you get the invoice for the processing fees. Yes, sure. I will go to meet Mr. William tomorrow and get the things done. Have a great day. Bye. See you soon. I'm going to repeat this exercise twice so that you can have a better understanding in the listening process. So I'm going to repeat this once again so that you can have a better understanding. So John is telling, good afternoon, Mr. Mac. Good afternoon, Mr. John. Have you spoken about the grant from the committee? No, not yet. I went there to meet the committee members, but unfortunately no one was there. All right. Did you meet anyone else there? Yes, I met one of the subordinates there. Who was he? He was Mr. William. He is a recently hired candidate from the Human Resource Department. Do you speak something to him? Yes, I explained everything to him and he told me to submit all the documents along with the processing fees. John, you need to visit him tomorrow along with the documents. Make sure you get the invoice for the processing fees. Yes, sure. I will go to meet Mr. William tomorrow and get the things done. Have a great day. Bye. See you soon. So this was a sample listening exercise where I was reading a kind of scripted document in the form of conversation. So what happens basically, once you listen to the scripted documents, the technique is that you have to get all the keywords there. For example, in this document, there were 3 characters. There was John, Mac, and William. The conversation was going on between between Mac and John and Mr. William. Mr. William, he was the third person, where John met him, right? So as soon as you listen something, understand the keywords, what are the characters, what are the nouns. So you have to focus on the content. Now, here you can see Mr. William is asking about bill, invoice, receipt, processing fees. I will tell you, in this conversation, I was reading out to you, you have already heard all these 4 words. But that doesn't mean that that is your answer. That is not your answer. Then you have to, again, as there are 2 chances of recording, then you can also listen to the second time. And you have to go. Here, Mr. William was asking about a processing fees. So the correct answer would be the processing fees. He was asking about processing fees. What is Mac asking from the committee? Now here, what is the main concern? Again the keyword. What was the main concern? What is Mac? So even if a picture diagram, if you're making in your mind, that can also help you. So Mac is asking, the correct answer is Mac is asking for grant from the committee. And you can say grant and committee. They are quite lined up. So that becomes also your possible answer. Next, question number third. What John needs to collect for the deposit of the processing fees? Now, again, in the conversation, you have heard all these words. You have heard invoice, you have heard documents, you have heard, maybe there is one word which is replaced, like you must have heard funds, visiting card. But do you think that becomes all the answer? No. I'm giving a simple demonstration. I'm just making it as simple as possible to make you understand that how the conversation goes on. How the conversation goes on and how the questions are framed. So here again, what John has asked Mac to collect. So obviously, John needs to collect what John needs to collect for the deposit of processing fees. Then he has to collect an invoice. So this is how anything goes, anything, cover ups. So in our conversation, when you're listening and there are so many options, that whatever you're listening, that is your answer. No. So make sure proper connection of the words, proper description of the words, what character is talking about what needs to be very much clear from the beginning. Next, I would put, where was the head of the committee? So, there are so many options. In a meeting, on a business tour, out of a station, product launch. So, you are getting confused. You are getting confused at this time that what has to be done. So, you may see, was he on a business tour? Was he on an out of station? So, when you can play it back and then you can listen. So, this is how, it happens. Extended listening is all about you are getting so many words from the text and so many words from the audio in your questions, but that doesn't mean that forms your answer. So listening, that's why a great importance is given to listening. Listening with full attention, listening for clarity, listening for completeness. These all things will help you to understand the real listening terms. So, dear friends, I'm sure that you must have understood what I'm trying to tell you, that paraphrasing technique, word synonyms, antonyms, twist and turns kind of questions can be asked. Again, we are going for another sample extended listening, right? These are the short conversation from a very basic level to make you help you that how we have to listen, how we have to catch up with the keywords, how we have to understand the vocabulary. So sometimes it happens that students directly jump on the very large, big audio text. It should not happen. Just start from a very basic level. Start from the understanding where you understand certain words clearly. So that should be your motive. That should be your main criteria. Otherwise, what happens? You are just listening, and after that, what happens? You're not that much okay. You're not that comfortable. You give up listening because you have not started from the basic level. So that's why I'm introducing you with some basic exercises. Some basic exercises will help you to develop a base. Now your mind will be tuned to with this basic listening. So I'm reading and you're listening. I'm reading, so it's part of extended listening, right? So I'm giving my own voice to this listening conversations for your better clarity, for your understanding from the very basic level. And I'm sure if you follow this, it is really going to help you. Okay, so let's see. Michael. Good morning, Miss Mary. Very good morning, Mr. Michael. I hope the product demonstration which you showed you yesterday must be very helpful. So understand the keywords. Michael is talking about the product demonstration. From the very first part, it should be clear that he's talking about product demonstrations, right? So I'm going to repeat again for just a clarification. There are two characters, Mary, Michael, and there's third one, product demonstration. That is the key point which they are discussing on. Good morning, Miss Mary. Good morning. Very good morning, Mr. Michael. I hope the product demonstration which I showed you yesterday must be very helpful for you. Mary. Indeed, it was very helpful, and I'm quite hopeful about it. I'm sure if we acted on the right time in the right direction, we may get better results. So, see the conversation, indeed, something which is very much sure. So, indeed, it was very helpful, and I'm quite hopeful about it. I'm sure if we acted on the right time in the right direction, we may get better results. Michael is telling, yes, Miss Mary, I agree with you. We have to take right course of action on it so that we can attend our target audience. Right? I'm repeating again. Yes, Miss Mary, I agree with you. We have to take the right course of action on it so that we can attend our target audience. Native speakers speak a little bit fast, right? But make sure you have to tune yours with there. This is a scripted document, so you are listening to my voice at this moment. But make sure native speakers speak a little bit fast. But if you are having a command in the vocabulary and all the techniques which I have shared with you, then it will be becoming very easy for you to understand. Mary, yes, I have analyzed some sections of the consumers and have got valid responses. So Mary is telling, yes, I have analyzed some sections of our consumers and have got valid responses. Yes, this is the right time to hire candidates and train them with necessary skills. Now, Michael is telling, yes, this is the right time that we need to hire the candidates and we have to train them with necessary skills. So you can see so much of learning is there, dear students. We are getting so much of good vocabulary into it. I'm reading it, I'm extending my listening criteria format with you. See how people are tuning it with these exercises. Mary, I was just wondering, Michael, if we can hire trained and skilled candidates and they will definitely scale up our business. So here see how there's a contradiction between the conversation of Michael and Mary. Michael is telling, yes, this is the right time to hire candidates and train them with necessary skills, right? And Mary is telling, yes, I was just wondering, Michael, if we can hire trained and skilled candidates and they will definitely scale up our business. So this is how the contradiction, and we have to notice then how the opinion of two speakers are shaping them. So that is also a wonderful idea that we need to work on. Michael is telling, that's nice plan. Let's plan our meeting where we will review all the necessary points before the product launch and see what is the final conclusion. So that is the overall gist of the conversation, the overall idea of the conversation which is coming out. That's fine, Michael. See you in the meeting. And Michael is telling bye, Mary. So friends, you can see how extended listening is helping us to understand that how deeply we have to get into the ideas, how exceptionally we have to understand, and then only we will be able to answer the multiple choice questions of extended listening. So here there are some questions, and I'm sure you have heard this listening. It was in a scripted form. I have read it out to you and I have explained it to you so that you can solve these listening, reading comprehensions. So what will scale up the business according to Mary? So you have to remember that contradiction between Michael and Mary, that what will scale up the business according to Mary. So now scale up is a phrasal verb being used here, and the meaning of scale up is to make your business to a great height, to take your business to a great profit. So that is known as your scale up. So what will scale up the business according to Mary? All right. So here see all these words which are there in the options were already in the conversation. But again, that doesn't mean that that is your answer. So here it is: training candidates, market survey, product demonstration, hiring skilled candidates. So you must be wondering that what is the correct answer? Training candidates, market survey, product demonstration, And I told you that what was the point of Mary and Michael? Mary was suggesting that they need to hire skilled candidates. So that's the point, that's the key listening criteria where we have to focus. Now we'll move on to the next question. Why Michael has to take right course of action? Yes, a very important question. Why Michael has to take right course of action? So, option 1, attend target audience. Option 2, for skilling candidates. For review meeting for better results. So again, you have to think that where take right course of action. That means right decision at the right time. That is the meaning which is coming out of it. So when any right decision is taken at the right point, then that is right course of action. So when he has to take this, why Michael has to take right course of action? So to attend target audience. For attending target audience, Michael has to take right course of action. So this is how it is to be understood by you all, and you have to always catch up for the keywords when you are listening to any conversation. What has Mary analyzed? Analyze means to go for a kind of complete study. Analyze means to get deep into it, see what are the things there. So what has Mary analyzed? So there are 4 options coming out. Some sections of consumers, review meeting, skilling candidates, hiring candidates. So I think you must have recalled. Again, you're listening back to reels again. So what has Mary analyzed? Mary has analyzed some sections of consumers. Right? What would have helped Mary according to Michael? That was the first part. So obviously there were 4 options. What had helped Mary according to Michael? So was it a product demonstration? Was it a market survey? Was it a valid responses? Was what a review meeting? So you can see we are listening to all these things. But that doesn't mean. Sometimes it happens that the candidates are playing the audio and they are matching up with the question. No. That is the biggest mistake, you can say trouble you are creating. You have to go with the audio and you have to follow the pace of the audio, and their listening becomes very much effective. So this is how it will help you in your conversation. So listening becomes active only when you are attending to it in your real life conversation, right? So I'm going again with the next topic. Next question, see. Yes, this is the next topic. Next listening sample exercise which I will be focusing. I'll be reading out to you, and as it is in a scripted form, I will be reading and you have to listen it to me. I will be reading and you have to listen it to me. So it's complete because I'm showing you the script at this level, because as a beginner we need to understand that it cannot happen, because if I start making you listen from the very beginning difficult word audios, then it can sound very difficult for you. So we are starting from that simple level which can help you to simplify it. Our purpose is to simplify it as simple as possible, so that simple things leads to better understanding. So candidates, let's study, let's listen. I'm reading out and you have to listen to my voice. So just see it is in a scripted form, so you can also go for both the things. Good morning, dear colleagues. I am Mr. Thomas, CEO of Tech Korea Private Limited. I am here to talk about the recent launch of my new product, Power Drop. Power Drop is an immunity booster drink for growing kids. It can be taken by the kids aged between 7 to 16 years. This drink contains vitamins, minerals and fibers which will help in faster growth and development of healthy bones and teeth. The children of our nation should not suffer from any sort of malnutrition, and power drop is the exact solution for this problem. So, this was a very small draft. So, I'm going to read it again with the proper explanation so that you can understand it very well. So, see what's written. Good morning, dear colleagues. I'm Mr. Thomas, CEO of Tech Korea Private Limited. I'm here to talk about the recent launch of my new product, Power Drop. Power Drop is an immunity booster drink for growing kids. It can be taken by the kids aged between 7 to 16 years. The drink contains vitamins, minerals, and fibers, which will help in faster growth and development of healthy bones and teeth. The children of our nation should not suffer from any sort of malnutrition, and Power Drop is an exact solution for this problem. So, dear students, I would like to explain this. It has been told who is addressing. So he is Mr. Thomas, and who is he? He is the CEO of Tech Korea Private Limited, and he is here in the script. You are listening that he is talking about a new product, and the name of the product is Power Drop. So what is Power Drop? It's an immunity booster drink, and for whom? It is for growing kids. It can be taken by kids aged between 7 to 16 years. The drink contains vitamins, minerals, fibers, which will help in faster growth and development of healthy bones and teeth. The children of our nation, he is telling that the advantages of the drink is that it can help in faster growth and development of healthy bones and teeth. And he is telling that the children of our nation should not suffer from any malnutrition. Power Drop, that immunity booster drink, the name of that immunity booster drink, and that is the exact solution of this problem. So I have drafted this short script listening sample for you people so that you understand this, how basic it is, and how understanding the keywords becomes important for us at this level. So understanding becomes very easier when you are listening it with full concentration, with full energy level, and at that time you will realize that you are going for real listening. So let's see what kind of questions we can frame it from here. So here in the first kind of question, that is listen and select. So you will listen a short conversation or short talk by the speaker, as I made you listen about Mr. Thomas. So the question is, what is the new product launched by Mr. Thomas? And you can say there are three options. The very first option, you can see this is a drink. This is a picture of a drink. You can see turmeric is there. Then it's something electronic gadget, and this is a book. So now you have to think that what was the conversation all about? What was Mr. Thomas talking about? What was he talking about? So obviously you have to correlate. You have to carefully look at the pictures for 1 or 2 minutes, and then you have to understand then what the person was talking about. What was that person talking about? Then at that time it becomes quite clear to you that Mr. Thomas was talking about an immunity booster ring, and you can understand this is the picture of a drink, so you can easily correlate that this drink is the first option. So here this is a very wonderful, this is so much of fun, solving this question, and it will help you to come up with different kind of imagination in your mind also. So the moment you will hear a question, you start imagining, oh, what was he asking about? So it comes like this. Okay, here again the question can be in the numbers. As I told you in my first module, that in listen and select category there may be a number shown to you. So the drink can be taken by which age group of children? So all options which are here, they are in the form of number. So the very first option is 7 to 16, 19 years, 25 years, 6 months. So you can choose the option according to the conversation. So that is why it is very important that we have to be very much very much attentive when any number is coming, when any sales figure is coming in your audio, then at that time you need to be very much attentive and you have to understand this. And by taking such kind of test, you are getting yourself ready for the test. And yes, so that's why I always tell my candidates that we have to become an exceptional listener. An exceptional listener can do wonders. Now we will move. Again, this is a listening sample exercise, and this is only to enhance your listening skill and to make you people feel that how you're going to get what are the different varieties of question which is going to be asked for by you. And you should not feel sometimes it happens students get confused. Oh, this is listen and select. They are hearing so many products, they are listening about so many images, but that doesn't mean that that forms your answer. So I personally feel that whenever you come across listen and select exercises, you make sure that you choose the correct picture with keeping intentions in your mind. This is the speaker, this picture the speaker was talking about. Make sure, double check this. There is an option that you can play the audio twice. So read the questions first, go through all the questions first. You have full control on the play button. So first read the questions, then play the button again, then read the questions and then play the button. So you have full control, you have full authority, so you will not get any chance to miss. So I feel that if you do so, it will be very much helpful for you to follow this technique. Read, listen, read, vice versa, first time. So these techniques can help you a lot. So now I'm going to again present another sample listening exercise, and here you will again understand this. So let's move to this. Here, Ronnie. Hi Jenny, how was your trip? Jenny. Well, it was very good, as I had planned many things from before. Ronnie. That's good. Jenny. But there was something which I really didn't like it. Ronnie. Is that so? What was it? Jenny. Unfortunately, my luggage got stolen and I reported the case to the nearest police station. And then I went to my hotel to check in. Ronnie. So Jenny, was there any update from the police station? Jenny. I'm still waiting. Let's hope for the best. So, right? So we have listened to this conversation once. Again we are going to listen it. Ronnie. Hi Jenny, how was your trip? Jenny. Well, it was very good, as I had planned many things from before. Ronnie. That's good. Jenny. But there was something which I really didn't like it. Is that so? What was it? Unfortunately, my luggage got stolen and I reported the case to the nearest police station, and then I went to my hotel to check in. So Jenny, was there any update from the police station? I'm still waiting. Let's hope for the best. So dear candidates, again we have to focus on the keywords. So there were characters like Ronnie, Johnny, and she went on a trip and something mishappening happened. That was a luggage stolen, and then she reported the case to a nearest police station. And then Jenny is asking that, Ronnie is asking that there's an update from the police station. So once you're listening, you're picturing everything in your mind. And once you picture everything in your mind, the possibility of answering the question in the right way is quite near. So that's how we are going to answer it. That's how. These are the very simple exercises to make you all understand that how questions are asked, how they are explained, how things are there. So it is very much important that the sequence of the actions, any character, any drama or any dialogue is there, then there the sequence of action is there. If something happened, then in what matter it happened, in what way did it happen. So that's why the sequencing of the action is very, very much important. So I just want that when you're hearing any conversation, just focus on the keywords and just think that if keywords are these, what kind of actions have happened with them, what had happened with them, what was the overall gist of this conversation. So as in this Jenny and running conversation, what was the ultimate gist? The ultimate gist was a product got stolen, the luggage got stolen. And that was something which Jenny didn't like it. So make sure you have to understand these things from a very basic level, from a come for close understandings, and then you can take the things there. So let us understand the questions. Yes, so you can see a wonderful explanation. What got stolen from Jenny? Yes, so there are so many options. You can see sometimes the picture may appear not clear to you, but you have to see this picture quite closely, and then you can understand that what is this all about, right? So if I say in the picture 1 there is a luggage, in the picture 2 there is a watch, and in the picture 3 there is a kind of jewelry. So again you have a liberty here that you can go back to your test. You can just check that what actually got stolen. You give some time to your mind that what actually got stolen. So here listening becomes very easy for us. And I'm sure as you heard in the conversation that what got stolen, so obviously you can see, unfortunately my luggage got stolen and I reported the case to my nearest police station, and then I went to my hotel to check in. So Jenny, was there any update from the police station? No, I'm still waiting. Let's hope for the best. So dear candidates, I would like to elaborate in listen and select exercises. If there is any happening, they may ask you about the happening. Suppose if there's a question that that the postal department was not able to deliver the product on time, and they are showing 3 possible reasons, then at that time you have to make yourself in that level that what was the reason why it didn't happen. So let us begin again. So candidates, I just want to tell you that this was our entire series on how we can solve 2 kinds of questions, that is listen and select, and the other question was extended listening. So dear candidates, here how we come to the end of the session, and I hope you must have enjoyed the whole session with lots of characters and with lots of sample exercises. And the only thing which I would like to bring out here, that yes, listening is the key to success, and if you are going for preparation of this examination, then something is there which you have to manage. You have to manage a certain time frame, that you have to listen to a selected piece of recording. After that, once it is not clear to you, then you have to listen to it again and again. And once it is all there, then you are done. Listen it once. Maybe the message may be, suppose if you are listening to any audio for just one time, in one time maybe 80% of the messages is not clear to you, right? So it's okay, 20% is clear, that's fine. Again you play the recording second time, then maybe 50% of the messages may be clear to you. That sounds very good, and a time will be coming in your life when 80% of the messages will be clear to you. So this is how any listening journey improves. Suppose if you are listening to a song, English song, and if you like so much that song that you want to play it again and again. And very soon it happens that you are quite tuned up with the music, the rhythm, the intonation, and everything. And you want to play it again and again. So, this is how it happens. This is how anything happens. So, in our real life, it is very much important that we have to understand these things. That anything, it's not only a matter of just listening few words. Listening has to be extensive. Listening has to be extensive. Listening has to be logical. Listening has to be empathetic. Listening has to be appreciative. Listening is a kind of cycle. They have to go for empathetic listening. That means you have to go and understand the feelings of something. You have to make it happen all the time. If you are listening something, it has to be logical. You're just not listening for the sake of listening. It has to come up with feeling. Just as a case, if I'm writing a story, you're not writing just merely for the sake of writing. You are writing it so that you can understand. You can just come up with some kind of feeling. So that is the message I want to give you. You have to listen. You have to listen everything, but with feeling, so that you can encounter possible meanings. You can learn something out of it. So you have to become, as in today's episode, I would like to revise all the points again, that go for an exceptional listening. You have to become an exceptional listener. You have to develop the traits of a good listener. You have to become a curious listener. Right? You have to listen for your value addition. You have to listen something which can add value to your conversation. And that is how, when you will be able to understand the things in a deeper level. There are times where people, they lose their patience. Oh, I can't listen to this anymore. So I feel no. Whenever you have to listen, there should be a patience level. So develop the patience. Have that patience. And other point which I discussed, that you have to listen to improving your concentration skill. Yes, concentration skills will improve. And as I solved all the exercises, you have seen that how the questions are there, and in how the MCQs, all the options are there, all the words are there, which is there in the conversation. So you are listening the same words as it there in the conversation. So you have to listen for all the things in a very well organized way. I hope you find this session very meaningful, and it must have helped you, right? So see you all in the very next episode. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.